Where is the result? It's very simple scientific. We have 1,246 electoral ward. I'm giving you one example. All we need to do is very simple. The biggest company in Indonesia and a Fortune 500 company, Wema Group, is in Nigeria. Wema came in and they had an arrangement with PZ. PZ depends so much on palm oil for their production. And because they were having scarcity of the supply of the feedstock, they decided to go into an arrangement with Wema Group to cultivate the high-yielding Tenera and Super G between Cross River and Akwa Ibom. And they went into the same scheme that we were trying to suggest to the Southeast, because it was even our ideas on how they would structure it. It was very simple. We have 1,246 electoral wards. The settlements, we have the Tenera, we have the Super G. We have them, and we decided to do the nursery. We funded it, and we told the governors, we did 1 million trees. We said for us to be able, we can create a 1 trillion naira from that sector. In every electoral ward, ask them. I come from Ihube, autonomous community, Amadi Ihube. I surveyed the land of my community, 78 hectares. We said every community donate 100 of their hectares of their land. Government should not touch it. Let them donate 100 of their sons. They will own 1 hectare each, manage it. Government will only bring bulldozer, clear the place for them, do industrial borehole. As the private sector players, we will provide the seedlings. We will provide the agronomists that will train them. We will set up the machineries that will process the palm fruits into palm oil. And we ran the numbers. If the governors had done it in 2017 when we shared this thing, today we will have a 1.3 trillion naira waterfall from that sector. It's very simple. Why they were doing those palm trees? We will intercrop tomato, we will intercrop pepper. But I had an ugly experience. Abia State government then was the one that actually bought into it. But the structure was very different. We were able to give them money, our own money, for them to survey a land, 850 hectares in Upamboro or Hafia local government area. We brought in bulldozers. We invested so much. We brought in prefabricated factories that could process 20,000 liters of palm oil every day. We did 60 hectares. We invested 320 million. I'm coming to the issue of security. We didn't know that Abia was having problem. The community was having problem with its theater in Afibon. We even brought the military men. We were paying them to come there. But the military will come in the morning, they will go in the evening. One night, irate youths moved into the farm, used acid and destroyed the whole place. Not only did they destroy, they destroyed the bulldozers. They brought down the factory. And interestingly, why this thing was great, we even went to their community and even pleaded with them. We didn't know you're having issue with this community and with this state. Give us 1,000 hectares, we'll come and do it in your own community. Why it is possible for them to do it? Because there is no leadership. Absence of accountability. That's number one. Now, because of that ugly experience, we decided we will not do any open farming. What we now did was we can't abandon. People told me, doctor, don't invest there again. The only investment we ever done that you lost money was inside. I said, forget, it's my land. I can't run away from my people. What are we doing now? I now went back to the drawing board. We decided the scheme we are doing now, we can only invest in getting properties. The deputy governor of Anambra State does not even know the depth of investment we brought into Anambra State. From Enugu Agede to Mbago to Okija, we've done massive agro development. We basically did the numbers to be able to cover the tomato consumption in the southeast, the pepper consumption. We just needed to do 1,896 greenhouses. Each of them has capacity to 250 kg. Hybrid production, scientific, climate-controlled, high-tech greenhouses. And the arrangement was very simple. The banks cannot fund it because they don't even have the fund. I cannot borrow money at 35% with the kind of things we are doing. I decided to work with the diasporans because there is something that we don't understand. Mbako was able to do what he did. We have the only airport that was built in Nigeria that was built through communal effort. This Imo were able to contribute because they trusted him. They had confidence that he would not divide their money or misappropriate it. Let me tell you for your information, if we want to attract $20 billion in the Southeast, we can easily get it from our diasporas. But the problem is that they don't trust those who purport to lead them. Now, they even told me, they said, forget government, and that's what we are doing. Let me tell you the scheme. Very simple scheme. You have 3 plots of land. They donate their land. I tell them, give me 3 people from your community that we can train. They will provide those 2 graduates or 3 graduates. I bring in the agronomist. I built the greenhouse for them. Now let me tell you what will shock you. We talked about Singapore. 1 out of 15 is a millionaire. The arrangement that each of these youths, they will work under the agronomist. We will fund the greenhouse. Their job is to manage the greenhouse. We pay them a stipend of 120,000 every month for the agronomist, and for the interns 40,000. When we finish training them after 6 months, we move those new trainees to the new greenhouse and we bring other people for them to train. And if you go to Anambra today, from Oka to Onitsha, a kg of bell pepper that used to sell for 5,000 is selling for 3,000 naira. We are crashing it. And now, the same thing with yam. A tuber of yam is selling for 8,000, 10 kg. We did the numbers. The yam consumption, do you know that we used to have DG, SAG? Indeed, we never depended on anybody for their yam. We never depend on anybody for our beef and our milk. We have Efibo. Efibo is as good as the freezer and the hostess machine that does 20 liters a day. We just did simple numbers to cultivate enough yam, and this special white yam, 270 days, less than 1 year. A 185,000 tuber, 85 million tubers will take us only 18,000 hectares. We have secured 100 hectares. And the diaspora that formed it in Upper West, Asa, we've gotten more than 2,000 plots. And we are doing the pilot scheme of 1.2 million tubers. And we are employing youths, 1 hectare, 1 person. Each of them is already a multi-millionaire. There's none of them that will not earn anything less than 4 million every year. If we can do this as private sector persons, imagine where we have focused leadership. We're not asking these governors to give us their fat and jack. We're not asking them to touch their IGR. We are asking them to provide the enabling environment, the structures. What's that? Yevika also said, give me structure and I will fund it. I have had privileges of meeting development funders. We have over $10 trillion out there. They are looking for structures. They are looking for good. Our chairman says something about cooperatives. You see, there is no bank that can fund development. That is the truth. They don't have the kind of funding. We're talking about rail. The other day, the governor of Imo State gathered all the leaders of Ndi that they want to go and dredge. Where is that dredging since 3 years? Now let me tell you, for Ndi to be able to compete positively, we must have access to the international sea. We must have access to international air. We must have embassies of China, Singapore, America, and UK in Enugu, in Owerri. Sabo Bako Airport must work. I was discussing with the brand manager of Ethiopian Airline, and I asked them, how come you don't bring the big-bodied aircrafts into Enugu? You know how people like in Bombo. Most of our people don't use Enugu Airport. Let me tell you why they don't use it. It's not because Enugu Airport does not work. It's not because aircrafts are not coming. The aircraft they bring are the small aircrafts. And they told me because they don't have the passenger traffic. And I asked them, if I give you cargo traffic, will you bring the airlines? They said yes. And what cargo am I giving them? I'm going to be giving them maggots, 90 tons per month, and I'm taking it to Canada. Maggots, Iburu! I produce it at 20 cents per kg. It sells for $19 per kg in anywhere in Europe. And we can mass produce it over $1 billion here in our neighbor. What of the rail? To do the rail from Lagos to Shagamu, to Djibouti, to Ore, to Benin, to Asaba, to Onitsha, to Owerri, to Port Harcourt, circle back Aba, Umuahia, Okigwe, Enugu, go back Abakaliki and Afibo, back to Asaba, Lagos Airport to enable us export will take $5.2 billion. We've done the numbers. And this is something the Southeast governors can drive. The concern has been amended to allow them to do it. If they are sincere, they can come together. We promise them to help them put the social place. With some of us, we traveled out to go and meet some of the biggest fuel operators. I spoke with the Deutsche Bank Group in Germany. I spoke with the Turkish guys. And they told me, if you give us the structure, we will take 10% if you can give us funding. What is the funding? $5.2 billion, $1.2 billion equity funding, $4 billion 25-year funding. We will secure it in 6 months. And do you know the interesting thing? This route has 200 million tons of cargo traffic every year. Has 300 million passenger traffic every year. This is a route that can give us nothing less than $2.3 billion annually. It's a route that will catalyze massive growth across different sectors. It just needs people with focus to drive it. To drive from the Escravos to Onitsha, or from the Port Harcourt to Orashi will take $150 million. We can easily structure it in 3 years, we will have it. Why will it take the governors to bring the embassies to Enugu and Owerri? These are simple things. We talk about power. We talk about manufacturing. You cannot manufacture without access to raw materials. I was privileged to fund the first, I was the chief advisor to the first privatization of the fertilizer company on there. While we were buying the NAFCO on there, something struck me. 98% of the raw material for fertilizer production is natural gas, nitrogen. And we have gas abundant in the southeast. Nigeria has gas reserve of 206 trillion standard cubic feet. Over 40% of it is between Abia, Imo, and Anambra State. When I was in the bank, in Oceanic Bank, I was investment banking, I saw clearly there were many gas wells that were capped. And I brought a group from Philadelphia. What was the plan? For us to set up 100,000 tons capacity fertilizer plant in Imo State. We wasted our money, traveled out, assembled a technical team, handed them over to the governor. What the governor did was simple to see how he can steal the project. And they went to do a caricature version of it from Cambodia. Till today, there is no fertilizer plant in Imo State. So the truth is, there can be nothing anybody can do without government input. And we need to call them out for what it is. We need to beg them. In the Bible, I'm a Christian. When Pharaoh had a dream, and Pharaoh discovered he couldn't even remember his dream. Pharaoh had to look. He brought his professors, his astrologers, and everybody. They could not help him. Pharaoh had to dig deep to pick out a slave boy from Israel who was in prison. That year-old Joseph, who understood his vision, was able to interpret it. And for 80 years, the guy built the biggest economy in the whole of the world. Nebuchadnezzar, an unbeliever, did the same thing with Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. If it's a pastor that is holding a party today, all the governors will be there. But we are talking about things that will affect our people. They are not here. The insecurity we are talking about is because of poverty.